Hello, and welcome to the Tainted Tavern, the place where the stories flow as freely as the drink and good time can be had by all. And today I've got a review for you, and it's going to be a pipe tobacco review. It's also going to be a pipe review. And just to start off this review, there's a little unboxing here. I don't do this, but I've just received a package from GQ Tobaccos. GQ, of course, are a UK-based online tobacconist. Used to be run by Glyn Quelch. Now run by Sam Bremner, and they supply a great service, so I know what's in here. I'm just going to open it for you. I did a nice big order, so there's going to be a pipe in here, which is a Morgan Bones pipe. Never had a Morgan Bones, and I wasn't really familiar with these pipes, except I know that they come in an unfinished state, so to speak, and we'll talk about more about that in the proper review. So there's the pipe in the pouch. Chris Morgan design, and it's a Bones pipe. Let's get this open. And there we have a smooth, straight apple. I shouldn't say smooth, rather, it's not smooth. A straight apple, or a slightly bent apple. It's got the Bones design there. And this briar apparently has imperfections and so forth, which you know that when you buy it. But I do rather like a look at that, so we'll smoke this pipe for the first time in the review. There's also some tobacco in your pipe cleaners. I always order pipe cleaners. So there's 25 grams here of Buccaneer from Wilson's of Sharrow. This I'm especially excited to try, and this is Briar Fox from Cornell and Deal. These are the UK tins, and you change some of the artwork. So there's 50 grams of Briar Fox in there. There's also some early morning pipe. This is to tap up my jar of early morning pipe. I smoke that quite often. And that's not all, because a viewer to this channel, Craig, sent me an email and said he's going to send me some samples. First of all, he asked me had I tried Haunted Bookshop, which I never had. And as far as I was aware at that time, it wasn't available in the UK. But it's now available from GQ Tobacco, the same as Briar Fox. The GQ and other tobacconists, I must not just say it's only GQ, it's other tobacconists who are stocking a lot of Cornell and Deal stuff. But anyway, I've never tried Haunted Bookshop, so a package came today from Craig. And I'm going to open this now. Now, he emailed me yesterday and said that he'd shipped some tobacco samples for me. And he said there were 11 different tobaccos to try. How generous is that? I've been in touch with my publisher because I'm going to send Craig some tobaccos as well, but apparently he's got a lot of tobacco, so I want to know what he hasn't tried. And I'm going to send him some tobacco samples. But I've been in touch with my publisher and I've asked them to send me a few more copies of my latest book, A Dark History of Whiskey, and I'm going to sign a copy for Craig. There's a little letter in here and it says, "Dear Gary, please find enclosed 11 sample blends of tobacco. Hope you enjoy them and share your thoughts on YouTube. Keep up the good work on YouTube content. It's much appreciated and enjoyed. Wishing you all the best and look forward to seeing you in the bothy of broken dreams." And it's signed Craig. No, thank you, Craig. So let's have a look what he sent me here before we decide which tobacco we're going to pair for the first smoke with the Morgan Bones pipe. So let's get this open. Wow. All bagged. So this is what I've got here, and I'm so grateful for this. I really am. I've got Peterson Special Cut, Davidoff Flake Medallions, Haunted Bookshop, which is the one I was really looking forward to trying, Peterson's Irish Flake, Amphora Virginia and Peterson's University Flake. We've got HU Nashville County, we've got Salty Dog, McBarron's Scottish Blend, C&D Dreams of Cadeth, and Trident's SK Old Virginia Slices. So I'm looking forward to trying all of these. In fact, I think out of all of these 11, the only one I have ever smoked before is the Peterson Irish Flake. So I'm looking forward to trying all those. That just shows the friendship and the community that the U2 pipe community is. So thank you for all that. And we're gonna, one of these tobaccos I was going to do the briar fox, but instead, in honour of Craig and out of gratitude for sending me these samples, I am going to christen the Bones pipe with one of these tobaccos. So, let's enter the Tainted Tavern.
Come into the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our musings and devices we've been using.
Morgan Bones pipes started to gain prominence. Now, I'm late to the party with these pipes. I mean, they're very, very popular. But they started to gain prominence while I was on an hiatus from my pipe smoke. And I think I've told this story before, but I used to be a chronic cigarette smoker. I smoked roll your own cigarettes, and I was doing a 30 grams pouch a day, so I reckon I was estimating 50 to 60 cigarettes a day. So I knew I had to quit cigarettes, and incidentally, as the time of recording, 27th of February, tomorrow, the 28th, makes it 8 years since I gave up smoking. So when I decided I needed to give up cigarette smoking, and it was the best thing I ever done, I've always been a pipe smoker alongside my cigarettes, but I was terrified to try a pipe, because I felt that my pipe would send me down the slippery road to cigarettes again. And so for the first 4, maybe 5 years even of quitting cigarettes, I didn't even touch a pipe. I gave a lot of my pipes away. I gave a lot of tobacco away. I regret that now, because I was terrified that by taking up my pipe it would lead me back to cigarettes. I've been back on the pipe now for the last 3 years maybe, and it hasn't led me back to cigarettes. Now, so these Morgan Bones pipes started to gain a lot of prominence in the pipe community back when I wasn't paying any attention to the community and I wasn't smoking. So I'm kind of new to this, but I found them intriguing because with the usual a lump of briar like this, what would usually happen is the manufacturer would fill up some of these tiny imperfections with a bit of smoker's putty, and try and hide any blemishes. Then the pipe would be stained or sandblasted, and it would be sold at an inflated price. But what Chris Morgan, and it's a brilliant idea, and it's so simple when you think of it, and yet, until someone comes up with it, it's just an amazing idea. So what he decided, he bought from various pipe manufacturers. I think he had a lot from Molina, and he supposedly had some from Savinelli. These are all Italian briar. So he buys the briar with the imperfections, and rather than hiding the imperfections with a bit of filler and so forth, and then polishing up the pipe and making it look nice, he thought he'd make a feature of it. So every Morgan Bones pipe you buy is unique, because it's had a light, I believe it's had a light staining just to seal it, maybe a bit of wax or something over it. That's what I believe. I may be wrong there. But as you can see, there are several imperfections in this, so it's not so bad. So you've got a lovely natural grain. There are a couple of little pits here, one there and one there, which would have been filled, as I say, with filler, but they're not really deep. So there's 3 pits actually, 1, 2, 3. Other than that, I can't see much wrong with this pipe. There's a little dink there as well towards the top of the boulder. Now, looking through the shank, the bore hole seems superb. And running your finger inside, there are no imperfections in the bowl, and that's one of the things that the Chris Morgan pipes guarantee, the Bones pipes guarantee. If there is an imperfection that affects the smoking, then they will refund it. And on the various forums I've been on, and these, as I say, these pipes now have been around for quite a while, the various forums that I've been on speak highly of the customer services from Morgan Bones pipes now. So I'm going to try and give a review of this pipe. I know this is going to be my first smoke in it, so it's going to take a gentler smoke and it's going to need a breaking in period. It is actually real briar. So perhaps 3 or 4 weeks down the road, when I've done quite a few more bowls in this, I'll be able to give a real opinion of what a good smoker it is. But this video is basically the initial smoke. But I really think, even though it's an unusual looking pipe, there's no stain, it's not polished up at all to look presentable. I feel it's so ugly, it's quite beautiful. You get that natural wood, natural briar there, and there's the imperfections in the pipe, there's the Bones trademark there. I think this is rather a beautiful pipe. And the tobacco I'm going to smoke today is in tribute, of course, of Craig, who sent me all these samples. It's got to be Haunted Bookshop, which is from Cornell and Deal. It's a Virginia Burley mix. There is some Perique in there as well, I believe. So we're going to give this a little ride in the Morgan Bones. This is supposedly on the stronger end of the tobacco spectrum. Bring it on, I like strong tobaccos. And I'm in honour of Craig as well, because I know he's a beer fan, and I'll probably be sending him a few bottles of Welsh beers that are not available in his neck of the woods. We are going to drink a Welsh bitter and pair it with the Bones, the Haunted Bookshop. So we are going to be drinking Felon Foyle ESB Extra Special Bitter. The Felon Foyle Brewery is the oldest still operating brewery in Wales. It's a brewery that I used to pass regular back in the day in work. It's up in the Llanelli area. So let's crack this open. It's a bitter. I like a bitter, so I'm right at home here. It's early in the day for a beer though, but I want to get this review filmed out of the way because my wife's not home and I don't have to go out the body. I can have a puff in the house, so I'm going to do this review now and allow myself to indulge in a beer a bit early in the day. It's only 1 pint, and besides it's Craig's fault. So let me get this Haunted Bookshop open here. Very well sealed, these tobaccos. That's quite a generous lump too there. I'll probably get several pipes out of that. So I'm just going to cut one of these chunks up. I only need half of one of these. Rub it out. Yeah, you can. It's a kind of a crumble cake. So you can crumble it into the bowl, but I always prefer to rub it out. And this is a very generous sample here because I'm going to get several bowls out of this. And I want to pack it right because this is a virgin smoke, so to speak. It's the first smoke that very earthy aroma on there, very earthy indeed. So let's just fill up my bowl. My packing method that I use, I know a lot of people separate the tobacco and put the smallest bits in first, and then they start putting the bigger leaves in, and I don't really do that. I do my packing in a 3-stage. Now, as this is the first smoke in this pipe, I'm not going to fill it completely to the brim. I'm going to fill it half full, just because I think the pipe deserves to be broken in properly. And look at that for the Haunted Bookshop sample. So I've got several more pipes left there. I'm going to pop that in a jar. Finish pouring this beer. So this comes in at Felon Foyle ESB Extra Special Bitter Craft Ale. Comes in at about £2.30 a bottle. It's 500ml. It's just under a pint. It's not, considering it's an extra special bitter, it's 4.6% by volume. So not overly strong. But let's enjoy. Oh my gosh, I went down the wrong way. I've drunk Felon Foyle ESB numerous times over the years. It's a good traditional bitter taste. It's a good traditional beer taste. There's no messing about with this. It's a nice, lovely red, almost ruby colour in the glass. There's a good level of doesn't tell us what hops are made. It just says it's a marvellous robust bitter. It's basically a traditional bitter. It's quite delicious. Okay, let's get the bones are cooking. Haunted Bookshop, Morgan Bones, ESB.
As I watch the sun descending and the birds fly home to rest.
Now right away I can tell there's a nice airy draw on this pipe. It also feels surprisingly good in the end with the pits and the fact that it's not been smoothed out. Kind of like holding a good rusticated pipe. Okay, so there's your charring light. The Haunted Bookshop, because I've read so much, this is a very strong tobacco. Granted, that was only a charring light.
In the hush when day is ending,
I'm not sure.
that's the hour when I feel blessed. Smoking my pipe. Smoking my pipe. Like a whisper through the cornfield comes a gentle evening breeze. At the doorway of my cottage
It's woody, it's earthy, it's grassy. There's something of a spiciness there too, which is probably coming from the perique. And room note, I would say, let's see, the room note's going to be considerable. As I say, this stuff is now available in the UK as well. So I probably will get a full-size tin of this, but I'm going to rush. I've got enough there, thanks to the generosity of Craig, to have several bowls to decide if I... Of course, Haunted Bookshop is based on the novel of the same name by Thomas Morley, I believe. So as a literary man, that's an added bonus. Yeah, grassy, earthy, nice tobacco taste. No added color, no added flavorings at all. I do like this. This is a no-nonsense tobacco. I can imagine it's got a good, nice hit of vitamin N as well. Lady Nicotine, come into my arms. The pipe as well, the drawer on this pipe is fantastic. I can't wait to get this pipe fully broken in, get a little bit of a cake built up on the inside to see how good a smoker they are, because reportedly these are really good smokers. When I first got into pipe smoking, I was a very young man. I was in my 20s, and you could pick up pipes. They weren't major expensive. I thought at that time Falcons were expensive because you'd get basket pipes, and this is going back to the early 80s. You'd get basket pipes in most tobacconists for £5, £6, £7 maybe, sometimes even less, and Falcon pipes were up £20, which was an incredible amount, you think, to pay for a pipe. But these days, things have moved on so much, and some pipes are dreadfully overpriced. I have got some high-end pipes, or what I call high-end pipes. I've got a couple of Petersons which cost me in excess of £100. And I enjoy those pipes. But today, the year and now, I wouldn't pay any more that for a pipe. And something like this cost me £42. And if it does give me the use and the enjoyment which the users of Morgan Bones pipes claim these pipes provide, and I see no reason why not. I mean, the drawer on it is excellent, but then this is perfect. I mean, I don't need fancy stain, I don't need bird's eye, I don't need lovely straight grain. This will do me, and in a way it's beautiful in itself. As I say, the drawer on it is superb. I'm coming down now to the halfway mark, which is really the quarter-way mark, because and I'm getting that perique, spicy pepper. But the nutty burley is, to my opinion, the primary element in this tobacco. Will it ghost your pipe? Will Haunted Bookshop haunt the pipe? I don't care if they do. I'm not afraid of no ghosts. I like sometimes tasting a mixture of an old tobacco that has been smoked in a pipe with the new tobacco that you're smoking it at the time. I quite like that. But then I'm a strange person.
call old memories, smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe.
You know, come to think of it, it wasn't Thomas Morley who wrote the book, Haunted Bookshop, from which it's get its name. It was Christopher Morley. Sometimes I'm a dickhead. Yeah, this is nice. It's creamy. It's nutty, rustic, flavorful, and the beer goes well. An old school bitter, Fellinfoyle ESB. An old school bitter, no frills, just good, honest beer. And this is a no frills pipe tobacco. Good, honest tobacco.
Those far off places beyond the blue, familiar.
Yeah, nutty, woody, some cream. There's that perique spiciness, but it's very subtle, so I think that the perique used in this blend is very minimal. And of course there's no toppings at all. It is a natural tobacco. The crumble cake itself is rather nice looking. It's a mixture of dark and light tobaccos. I don't know where the camera picking that up.
Faces that once I knew.
Haunted Bookshop would be a yes for me. This could be something that goes in my regular rotation, as I do tend to favour the more robustness of tobaccos. Many years ago, when I first started pipe smoking, I was all about aromatics. These days I still like an aromatic. There's no style of tobacco I dislike. I still like an aromatic from time to time, but aromatics are not my thing. For a long time I would say my main type of tobacco would be English type blends or Balkan blends, but experimenting with these Cornell and Deal blends, and I've experimented with a few lately. I bought a couple of Cornell and Deal blends recently myself, and reviewed them on this channel, which was Sunday Morning Picnic, which again, that was recommended to me by Craig, but I bought that one.
Recall those days behind me and the happiness they meant. Every sundown you will find me with a heart that is content. Smoke.
And it's been many years since I've smoked American tobacco blends, because once upon a time, going back several years ago, I used to order from the USA, from a company. I'm not going to name that company, but they'd send a package over, you know. But I've heard so many horror stories now of these packages being stopped by customs, and the customer suddenly then being presented with a massive bill, and I'm reluctant to order from the States. So I am really happy that Cornell and Deal tobaccos are available over here in the UK, and kudos to companies like GQ for supplying them.
Smoking my pipe.
GQ, in fact, are a fantastic online store. I mean, I ordered this pipe and the Briar Fox and the early morning pipe, and my pipe cleaners only yesterday I ordered them. They come here today.
You remember the first time we met?
I'm enjoying both the pipe and the tobacco. And what I am noticing with this Morgan Bones is, as I said, the draw is superb. But I'm holding it in my hand, it's not getting overly hot. And the ash inside is a fine grey. I don't think it's going to be much longer before I've gone through this bowl. So that is the first smoke. I've christened this pipe with a Haunted Bookshop. I'll probably smoke another bowl of Haunted Bookshop later, and then fill the bowl a little bit higher again, perhaps to the 3/4 mark. And then once I've smoked that bowl, I'll fill it completely to the top. And then, so that'll be 3 smokes to it. Gradually fill in the chamber each time. After those 3 smokes, I'll just take my time for the next few days till I've had probably 10 bowls at most, the most over to this.
The only one in that railway carriage who didn't like me smoking my dear old pipe. Compromise.
Another interesting thing about these pipes is apparently with the natural oils in your hand, and a lot of people will use these pipes because they're inexpensive. They'll throw them in a backpack or in a tackle box. They use them when they're fishing or hunting or doing the gardening, so your hands get dirty, and the natural oils in your hands will eventually cause a patina to form put in like with a meerschaum, it'll cause the colouring of this pipe. So every Morgan Bones pipe you buy are quite unique. I like that. I'm probably going to get a couple more of these once I've had this for a month or so and see. But I think it's fantastic, and despite the fact that it's got no fancy stain, it's got little pits and little imperfections. I think it's beautiful.
As I opened the window,
Oh,
what a lovely surprise you gave me on our wedding day, a tobacco jar. How I remember each smile and tear.
Tobacco is exceptionally good.
As life's December.
Get at the bottom of the bowl now, just tamp it down slightly as it's starting to cause a little gurgle. This is the first smoke, and
is drawing near. Time's old ever-moving finger closes
it's really
one
well
more
with the beer
day
as well.
yet. While such thoughts as mine can linger, I'll have nothing to regret. Smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe.
So yeah, first smoke, can't fault the pipe. Aesthetically, I don't think it's ugly. I think it's beautiful. I think the imperfections add character. It makes a pipe unique. This is my pipe. Someone else could buy a Morgan pipe same time as me, get their pipe, it won't be like my pipe. Each one is truly unique because of the briar, because of the imperfections, so no two imperfections will be exactly the same. The odds on that are probably more than winning the lottery. It's a lovely pipe, and I do like on it's naked wood, isn't it, and where you can see the actual briar grain there. So it's beautiful, really nice pipe. It's almost as if Morgan Bones, or Chris Morgan rather, decided, let's make a pipe and not care how ugly it is, let's not care how gormless looking it is, and by accident he's come up with a design of true beauty. That's top marks of the pipe, getting to the bottom of the bowl now. Managed to smoke it down to a nice fine ash. I don't know if you can see that. It's a nice grey white ash. Gone to the bottom of the bowl. Really enjoyed the Haunted Bookshop. Thank you so much, Craig. I will be getting some more of this. Really enjoyed the Haunted Bookshop. Really enjoyed my inaugural smoke with the Bones, which is now documented, and I'll be smoking this in quite a few pipe reviews over the few weeks, because I want to document the way the colouring changes. So I'm going to give you a nice close-up of this before we finish. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. There we are. So nice close-up of this. My next Morgan Bones pipe will probably be a poker. So top marks for the pipe. Exceptional tobacco, Haunted Bookshelf. Cornell and Deal have excelled themselves yet again. And a damn good beer. So that's it for now. Yaki da. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and come back to the Tainted Tavern. We're always open.